All right, 23-7. So 23-7 is the same manufacturer, but we're going to look at the labor variances. So they manufacture lead crystal glasses. Standard direct labor time is half an hour per glass at a cost of $18 per hour. The actual results, they made 6,500 glasses and they used 0.2 hours per glass at a cost of $11 per hour. All right, and we're going to set it up the same exact way. Actual cost times actual quantity. All right, I'm starting to abbreviate. Standard cost times standard quantity. Times actual quantity. And then standard cost times standard quantity. Okay, so they actually spent $11 an hour. So $11 an hour, and they made 6,500 glasses, and it took them 0.2 hours. Okay, their budget was $18 an hour. Actual quantity stays the same. Okay, right here we've got the standard cost again. So my standard cost was 18. All right, the standard quantity was half an hour. So I'm going to do the actual production times the standard amount. All right, so this is actual production, and this is the standard amount. All right, so this is 14,300. This is 23,400. This is 58,500. There's some big differences there. Okay, so then if you remember, we subtract going across. Okay, so 14,300 minus 23,400. Oops, I did that wrong. This is $9,100 difference. All right, this is our rate, all right? And in this case, our cost is our rate. So I use the same thing for material and labor because to me, cost and rate is the same thing, all right? So this is our pay rate, all right? And this is favorable because I only paid $11 an hour when I had budgeted to pay 18. All right, so that's a favorable rate variance. Direct labor rate variance. And then the next one is 35,100. All right, this is our efficiency variance. All right, it is also favorable because I only used 0.2 hours per unit, and I had budgeted to use half an hour per unit. So that is also favorable. So since they're both favorable, to get my overall direct labor variance, I'm going to add them. All right, and it's favorable. Now what happened here is, you know, if you look at the thing as a whole, let's talk about what they did here. For the labor, they got much cheaper labor. And generally speaking, when you have cheaper labor, it might take longer to do it. But in this case, it worked out as a win-win for them because not only did they pay less per hour, they also used less time to manufacture each lead crystal glass. So they ended up with a really big variance, all right? They might actually want to rethink their budget. Maybe they don't need $18 an hour in their budget. Up here for direct materials, they spent less per unit, but they had to use more units than were budgeted. They actually used 7,800 pounds of material when they should only have used 6,500 pounds. So since they bought a lower quantity, they actually had to buy a little bit more of it, but it still worked out favorable for them in the end.